Okay folks, so I've been to the toys store today, men's toys, the big boys toys store today, and I picked up, wow, this is a diversion for me from full size big handfuls of pistol to something much more compact. This is the Sig P365 4.5mm semi-auto pistol, and this is the unboxing. I've literally just come back from the store, DAI Leisure in Dudley, where I buy most of my stuff from, and it comes in this packaging. I haven't really looked at it before. I'll take photos of all this so you can kind of look at it properly. So I've already destroyed the box, and let's see. Okay, so I'm not sure I'm loving the plastic bubble wrap. It just comes apart. It's not sealed, so you have to kind of get industrial scissors to open it all up, which is good. So what do you get? You get obviously the pistol, which we'll have a look at in a minute. There's some kind of instruction manual, which again I will discard for now. Some BBs, and an Allen wrench for the magazine. Okay, so let's move that to one side. We'll have a look at the pistol. Just have a walk around with that. So very compact. I haven't got massive hands, but my little finger is just about managing onto the bottom of the grip there. It's got a polymer lower, or plastic lower, I guess you'd have to say. And the slide is metal, and it feels really good, and the finish is really nice too. It's got high vis sight. I'm not sure if that's glow in the dark. I shall find out later. There's a safety catch, which compared to safety catches on some of the pistols I've reviewed, it seems to work. Okay, the slide locks open, not fully back like it does on some. Now there is a little bit of a compromise here for me. The magazines, because they've got to fit in this very small package, are actually a slightly different design to the ones I tend to prefer. However, I think I'm willing to live with this, because this is quite a unique little offering with a full-size magazine that contains the BBs and the gas, which anyone who's watched my videos knows I tend to prefer rather than stick mags. So when you cock it, you kind of see this here. It's kind of a shame really. I think they could have made that look like a like a shell, so it added to the realism a little bit, but never mind. So it will lock back on the first shot. I have to say, when I went into the shop, I wanted to look at several pistols. I did look at the new, all of the new Glocks actually that have just come out. They were all in the store, and they were incredibly good replicas, especially the one with a full metal dropout mag. And it was very tempting for me to buy that. But I'm not a huge fan of Glocks in real life, and that's not because I don't think they're good guns. I think it's just, I just think they look a bit uninteresting. But when I had it in my hand, I did actually think to myself, oh, I'd actually like to pick one of those up. But I didn't, because I was able to pick this one up, including 2 spare mags. Oops. 2 spare mags. And some CO2 for less than the price of the Glock. So, you know, that's kind of my reasoning behind buying this. Now, I will also say that while I was there, I had a chance to handle the Crossman SBR short barreled rifle CO2 BB gun, and I have to say that is now top of my list to buy, because it feels and looks utterly stunning. But for now, we've got this mini pistol. I think it's a nice detail that the base of the magazine, where you kind of your small little finger would be holding the gun, is stippled, just like the grip. There's plenty of Sig markings on both sides of the grip. And the reason that they've got Sig markings, because it is a Sig. Now, I will say, one thing that I don't think I like is when you're handling it without the mag in, it does sound just a little bit plasticky. And I've got other guns that have got plastic lowers, like the M&P 40 and the H&K USP, and they do feel a lot more solid than this. However, when the magazine's in, some of that does disappear, but there is that sort of slightly plasticky feel to it. But I have to say, it does grip well in the hand. It doesn't feel like it's going to slip. And the trigger is not one of the best, I have to say, that I've found with these type of air guns, but it sort of creeps and creeps and creeps and creeps and creeps, and then it kind of goes right at the end of the travel of the trigger. There's not much travel, so it will have a short reset. I do like the sights. It does have a manual safety, which is ambidextrous, which does seem to work, but I don't trust these things because they have a weird habit of, when you take them off, it fires the gun in some of them. We'll see how it operates when I actually put some gas in it and some BBs. It's got the P365 logo on. It's got serrations on the front and rear, so nice and easy to cock. It's not much travel on the blowback. I don't know if it's possible to field strip this gun. I guess I'll find out. So on the real P365, the pistol would be field strippable using this takedown lever here. Now on the P226, which I've owned and reviewed on this channel, pushing that, pulling the slide back and then pushing that down, field strips the gun. However, I can't make that work on this one. It makes a noise that makes me sort of think that it should work, but I haven't been able to do it, and I don't want to break the gun because I've literally just bought it within the last hour. So watch this space, I guess. Okay, let's talk about the other controls. So we've got the slide release. That's in a nice handy position, for me at least. The safety. And then we've got the mag release button. Now I'm not sure the mags will just drop straight out on this. No, I didn't think they would. They seem to be like quite, you know, stiff, so there's going to be no quick reloads. You will have to kind of pull those out, but I suppose on the upside they're not going to just fall out if you accidentally press the slide release. Seems to be some kind of rail system here, mounting a light or laser or something like that. Personally, I don't see the point on something like this. I guess in the real world, these kind of pistols are designed to be compact carry guns and nice and discreet in the pocket or handbag or small holster. This is obviously not a consideration for a BB gun, and you shouldn't be carrying these around with you, and if you are carrying them around with you and you get stopped and searched, you are going to jail. I'm absolutely certain about that. So I'm going to say cons on this: feels a little tiny bit plasticky, can't field strip, at least not easily. Pros: looks really good. Is a Sig pistol, so the realism is absolutely spot on. Although I think on the real gun the lower is metal, not polymer. Barrel's nicely recessed, good high vis sights, uncomplicated, and just a little bit special because it's a wee little gun. And to have a full-size drop-out metal mag with gas and BBs in something this size is really novel. So first impressions are really good. It's a great price too. I think you get a lot of gun for the money compared to the other BB guns on the market at the moment, and it's got that nice bit of realism to it too. After several days of faffing around, finally going to do the shooting bit of the video, but I thought what I'd do before I did that is quickly just give you an illustration of the size difference between the P365 and popular other pistols in this category. The 1911 style. And you can see there is quite a big difference. However, like thinness, so they're actually about the same. In fact, the 1911 is probably slightly slimmer. Quite similar in terms of the control layouts. This isn't field strippable, this one is. Awesome this is, by the way. See my other video where I say how awesome it is. Safety, this isn't present on the real P365, and actually I'll explain later why I think that this is not really necessary and it kind of gets in the way. But there you have it. And of course, more mags, all the mags. Always get loads of mags. For just literally get loads of mags, because it's better to have more mags than to keep reloading stuff. So I'll buy loads. There you go. Okay, we're going to go and shoot it now. Okay, so we're just going to do a bit of shooting there. Set up a little shooting area over there. Keep things nice and safe. Got some mags loaded up. These are for my 1911, but they fit these. Pretty cool. So here we go. First mag. And safety gets knocked on really easily. And that's why I said earlier on, I'm not a fan. It's not on the real gun. Why put it on this one? Don't know. That's 12. All right. So just follow me down to the target. Got my photography assistant TV with me today. All right. So I was aiming about 6 o'clock just here, and they're like really low. So I'm gonna have another mag. I thought they were bouncing back at me, so I'm gonna try and aim it about here and see where they go. All right. I was holding down on the slide cuts there. Got to keep your fingers away from all that stubbins. Unintentional double tap there. Okay, let's go and see where those went. Okay, so this time I was kind of aiming up here. I wasn't taking a huge amount of care. As you can see, the predominant number of shots have gone here, which is, I guess, about 3 inches, between 2 and 3 inches below where I was actually aiming. That's okay. Once you know that that's your aim point, I guess you can adjust. I'm not shooting at a very long distance, so quite pleased with that. Alright, I think I said before that these are a pain to load because you have to load them one at a time. Fortunately, it's not a windy day. I'm still using the bag of BBs that came with the pistol, because all my other stuff is kind of stored away. I'm just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm pretty sure that about 10% of all the BBs I've ever bought, that might go in, actually end up on the floor. Okay. So, a couple of things observations I'm going to make about this pistol now I've kind of shot it is because of its small size, the controls kind of feel a little bit different than they do on the full-size pistols, and this is a real nuisance. I kind of feel like I need to have my thumb on that when I'm shooting, and it's really easy to kind of press up on the slide release. So I think on one of the mags I managed to lock it open on the second shot. Trigger's a bit unpredictable, but I'm still getting used to it. Sights are good, although I seem to be needing to aim quite high to get onto the target. I'm going to try and shoot from a little bit further away this time, and then do a mag or two, like sort of rapid fire. Alright, so I've moved back now. I'm about 25 feet now. Oh, half my BBs have just come out my mag somehow. Right, so I'm going to try a few from here and see what the accuracy is like. So I'm going to hold over a little bit. Okay, let's go and have a walk up and see what that's like. Okay, so mixed. I was aiming about here, and that seems to be about kind of right for hitting in the middle, but there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the target, and I think there was probably about 9 or 10 in the mag, so I've missed a couple of times. Looks like they've come off at the bottom. So, you know, 25 feet accuracy, it's not amazing. Okay, so what I'm now going to try and do is just blast off a couple of mags fairly quickly. Oh, misfire. Right, what's going on there? Don't seem to be getting enough power for the blower. Now that's interesting, because that's only had that's had a fresh CO2 cartridge in, and it looks like that I've just got one mag before it's run out of gas, which is a bit disappointing. I don't know whether that's a problem with the mag or whether it's a problem with the gun uses lots of gas. So I'm going to stop there and charge up another one and see if we run out. Yeah, I've just dropped my bag of BBs. Every single one of them has gone on the floor. So I'm actually going to call it a day, because obviously I'm a clumsy git. Okay, so we had a bit of a mishap towards the end there where we weren't firing properly. I checked the magazines. Magazines were all fine. There was loads of gas in them. And now I racked the slide a couple of times and it's intractably jammed. Just take my word for it. I don't know whether there's a BB trapped in the gubbins around here somewhere. And this is going to be a nuisance, because now I've got to try and take the thing apart, and it's not easily field strippable. So watch this space. But already I'm starting to come to the conclusion that I'm not a fan of this pistol, and I'm going to say I kind of regret buying it now. But more on that later. I had a good look on the internet, see if there was any way of taking it apart, and didn't seem to be any way of taking it apart without risking breaking it completely. So I've bagged it up as much as I possibly can. It's going back to the shop, and that's the first time I've ever had to do that with one of these BB pistols. So I think, you know, that's my conclusion to the video. Right, so to cut a long story short, the P365 is no more. It's been taken back to the shop. And I had to wait around a little bit for the manager to arrive, but it was worth it. They were very nice about the whole thing. It was intractably jammed. There was no way that slide was going forwards. Everyone had a look at it. No one could figure out what the problem was. So I've got a store credit, and I've got something that I probably should have bought in the first place. There's me going, oh, I don't particularly like Glocks. And This is what I should have bought in the first place. Sorry, Sig. It was a nice idea, but yep, it's the Glock 17 Gen 4 CO2. So this is going to be the topic of my next review that will be coming hopefully soon. Is the P365 a bad BB gun? I don't know. I was always on the fence with it. There was a few things about it I didn't like. Didn't like the particular magazine style. That it didn't seem to be kind of like the blowback wasn't 100% full blowback. It was a bit awkward to shoot. I found myself accidentally operating the slide stop and the safety a few times. It seemed to shoot fairly well, considering it's got a very, very short barrel and it's a BB gun, it's not rifle. But I was on the fence about it, and I think the fact that it just jammed up and then wouldn't function, it was a no-brainer for me to just take it back and replace it with something much better, I hope, because I haven't fired the Gen 4 yet. I want to say this isn't a paid promotion for any business, but most of my airgun related stuff is bought from a business called DIY Leisure in Merry Hill, Dudley, and I've been going in and out of there for a long time, but the customer service was really good. And I think when something goes wrong with a transaction, the way that a business deals with that tells you more about the business than if you go in and everything's fine. There was no argument about the swapping over. The owner of the business apologised for the inconvenience, and it was all done very, very smoothly. So I just want to tag that on as an aside to this whole thing. Thanks very much for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to making the next one soon, and in the meantime, have fun but shoot safe.